In the news this week, plans for a state-sanctioned register of faith leaders receive heavy criticism. The government proposes extended Sunday shopping hours. And we look back at the overwhelming rejection of assisted suicide by the House of Commons. Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. Pastors, rabbis and other religious leaders will have to enrol in a national register of faith leaders under government plans leaked to the Sunday Telegraph. The proposal appears in a draft version of a new counter-extremism strategy. According to the Sunday Telegraph, it will be compulsory for all faith leaders to join the register if they want to work with the public sector, including universities. The leaked draft also says the government will set a minimum level of training and security checks. The Christian Institute's head of communications, Iain Kelly, said these plans represent an attack on religious freedom, not seen since the 17th century.
If the government goes ahead with these plans, they'll be turning the clock back on religious freedom 300 years. This is going to affect all those church leaders who act as hospital chaplains. It's going to affect all those church leaders who are invited into schools to take assemblies or into university Christian unions to speak. Are they all going to have to be licensed? Are they all going to have to go through some sort of government-approved training scheme which tells them what they can think and what they can say about their own religion? This is a truly sinister proposal. It's more in keeping with a communist regime than a democracy built on the freedoms of Magna Carta. The government needs to learn the lessons of history and drop these dangerous plans immediately.
The Christian Institute has spoken out against government plans to allow local authorities to extend Sunday trading. A snap consultation was launched in the middle of the summer, with ministers using the increase in online shopping and the demands of the tourism industry to argue for longer shopping hours. But the Keep Sunday Special campaign was assured ahead of the general election that the Conservatives had no plans to relax the law. Colin Hart, director of the Christian Institute, said the government has wasted no time in breaking its promise not to extend Sunday trading. This is a very serious issue affecting many Christians across the country, forcing them to choose between their faith and their job. Christian employees already receive inadequate protection from the current laws, and these plans make things worse. There is no doubt that liberalising Sunday trading will lead to more pressure on people to work on Sundays, harming family life and further interfering with Sunday as a day of rest. The Church of England and trade union body the TUC have also criticised the plans. The consultation closed this week. The Work and Pensions Secretary, Iain Duncan has said it would be a travesty to deny people work just because of their faith. He made the comments at the launch of a guide by a national group representing British Jews, which aims to help employers understand their beliefs and the needs of Jewish staff. Mr. Duncan said the employer's guide could make all the difference if companies made straightforward adjustments to accommodate religious beliefs. Nobody should feel they have to choose between their faith and their job, and certainly nobody should be harassed, bullied or intimidated at work because of their religion. The 14-page guide, produced by the Board of Deputies of British Jews, includes information about observing Jewish festivals and kosher food. Mr. Duncan said it will raise awareness of religious discrimination law for employers and will be helpful for the Jewish community and for the wider community in the UK. And finally, after a groundswell of opposition from across society, MPs voted decisively against legalising assisted suicide. Many powerful speeches were made in the House of Commons during a lengthy debate on Labour MP Rob Marris's private member's bill.
This bill would authorise doctors to provide a lethal substance for people to kill themselves with. Not a medicine, as the bill disingenuously described it, but, and let's put it as it is, a poison.
But I have never considered, as a doctor, that death was a good treatment for anything, no matter what's wrong with you. People would choose this for lots of reasons. The fear of being a burden, the fear of dying, and most of all, the fear of suffering. The responsibility to deal with that lies with us. Who is making them feel a burden? Is it their family? Is it their friends? Is it society?
I do not believe that's an improvement to our society. However well-meaning the proponents of this bill may be, they will open a Pandora's box which will fundamentally change who we are and how we are as a society, how we relate to the medical profession, and I believe none of these will be to the benefit of future generations.
MPs voted 330 to 118 against the bill. And there was strong cross-party opposition, with over 200 Conservative and nearly 100 Labour MPs voting not to introduce assisted suicide. During the debate, MPs referred to the correspondence they'd received from people encouraging them to vote against the bill. So thank you to the many of you who contacted your MP about this issue. Please join us in giving thanks to God that this dangerous legislation was so convincingly rejected. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.